what we're tracking here this morning. Currently a Category 3 hurricane, winds at 120 miles per hour, and that northward track pretty slow at about 8 miles per hour. Here's a look at some of our 24-hour rain totals. Now you can see for some of these northern islands, not a lot, but over the Big Island, you can see Hilo has picked up, at least at that reporting site, over 6 inches, almost 7 inches of rain, and other parts of the Big Island reporting totals close to or upwards of 2 feet. So there have been some heavy downpours, and those are expected to continue. Now, as this storm continues to make its track off to the north, most of the islands are under a hurricane warning. The Big Island now under a tropical storm warning. Really, no matter which way you cut it, we are going to be looking at heavy rain, strong winds. That's the main takeaway for all of the Hawaiian Islands today and on through the start of the weekend as this storm continues to make its track off to the north and eventually taking that turn and moving a little bit more westward by the time we head into Saturday morning. That's when we're expecting this to make its turn. Now, the latest updates have kept this cone of uncertainty just away from the island. So landfall right now, at least not looking like a threat, but it's so close to the islands that we are still going to be dealing with heavy rain and high surf. We have flash flood alerts out across the islands. The Big Island under a flash flood warning. The rest of the islands still under a watch, and I expect as this storm continues to track north, we will see those upgraded. Now, in addition to the heavy rain, we're also adding in the potential for high surf. We have high surf warnings out along the coast. You'll notice those highlighted in green. And that could bring surf up to 15, even 25 feet with the potential for storm surge between 1 and 3 feet. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about the impacts from the storm, and I want to show you some video. This is drone footage coming out of Hilo. Look at that flooding. We're expecting to see more scenes like this throughout the day. And Marcus, what are the main threats people can be concerned with as far as Lane goes? The warnings associated with this storm, we're going to send things on over to Marcus because this is something we're still continuing to watch closely because Lane still going to be a threat not only to the Big Island, but to more of those northern islands as we move through the day. Yeah, exactly. We're talking about more concerns. So do not take your eye off what's happening. Definitely stay on guard. But as we say. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on Weather Nation as we continue to track Hurricane Lane. We have some new updates on Lane coming in here within the last hour here, weakening now to a Category 2 storm.
That's right. The latest from the Central Pacific Hurricane Center now has this at 110 mile per hour wind speeds. But remember, it's not so much been about the wind with this storm because of its location and proximity to the islands. What has been the real problem is the heavy rainfall, and the movement of this storm is so slow. We're talking about that heavy rainfall continuing across the Big Island, but really now starting to move to the other islands, and we're looking at that track to get very, very close. Doesn't appear that a landfall is likely, but there is still a chance, and we're going to be following all updates for you through the day today.
Yeah, and with that rain, it really doesn't matter so much the category of the storm. You can still get those heavy amounts. The Big Island, some places saw over 2 feet. So we are seeing some concern for those other islands as this storm continues to track north.
And we've got boots on the ground on the Big Island. Want to bring in Ben McMillan, who's in the Kona area. And Ben, you've been traveling all around the island of Hawaii. Tell us what you've seen in the last 24 hours because some of the images are just heartbreaking.